Big up, everybody. You know what it is. It's your boy, MarkN, MUFC fan. And you know, it's a daily update. It's the update, guys. Manchester United are the FA Cup champions. And I have to say it again. What did I say to everyone yesterday? I told you guys, stay patient. Manchester United has something in store. We're going to get our revenge and we're going to serve it cold. And it's true that the season wasn't all that great, but the performance in the FA Cup was something left to inspire the fans and all of us that next season will definitely be better. Guys, what are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments. Let me know what you're thinking. Let's take in Eric Ten Hag's, rousing speech that made this all a reality, guys.
On behalf of players, staff, myself, I want to thank you all for the brilliant support during the season. As you know, it wasn't an easy season, but one thing remained constant, and that was the begging of you for the team. But the season is not over yet. First, we have to travel to Brighton, where we go for 3 points, and then we go to Wembley. And I promise you that those players will give everything, to get that cup, to win the cup, and bring it to Old Trafford. We are sure you will be there supporting us. Thank you. You are the best supporters in the world. Thank you.
Oh crap. It's moments like these that fans live for, guys. Big up to all of you joining me. Welcome to the stream. Big up to you, Kenny Fan TV. Ten Hag deserves another season for you and for me as well. Big up to you, Stephanie Griffith. Woke up this morning feeling fine. Got Manchester United on my mind. Big up. Signed, sealed, and delivered. Well done, Ten Hag's red, white, and black army. Got to know it. Got to know it. Mark Davies. How are you feeling this morning, my brother? I hope you're having a great day. I think that INEOS will sack him, guys. We've had a bad season in the Premiership. We finished 8th in the league. They aren't happy with the finish. He has to go. I don't think so, Mark, because you want to know something? We had a bad season in the league. Sure, it happens, but you have to take things into account. You want to lift silverware, progression. You need to have players available. You need to have the team functioning as a team. And sometimes when you're changing the system and changing the ethos, you're going to face these road bumps. You know what I mean? It's going to have problems. Sometimes the team is not going to function well, but they have to work it out as a team. So, big up to you, GB. How you doing, bro? Told you so, man. I told you. Ten Hag had something planned for this guy, and I keep remembering that game against the Emirates when at the Etihad. I mean, I keep remembering that game, watching that game when we played against Manchester City at the Etihad. We had some quite a bit of chances in the first half, only able to score that one banger that Rashford scored. And if you look at those moments and you look back at the game, there was other chances we had to score, but we didn't put them away. And then we allowed Manchester City to come back into the game, and then we ended up losing. But yesterday, clinicality was there. You know what I'm saying, guys? The clinicality was there 100%. These guys who got their opportunities took their chances. And that was the difference. Yeah, Kenny, I know you predicted the penalties, but what a performance. 100%, my bro. 100%. Big up, number one. How you doing? Welcome to the stream, broski. I hope you had a good time with Veronique last night. You know what I mean? We need to get Rabiot signed on those dotted lines, so I hope you're putting down the work. Hope you're having a good day. Yeah, I only realized that a bit ago, bro. You know what I mean? Yeah, we good. We good. Fantastic performance. Joe Blackman, you called the 2-0. It was 2-0 up until the 87th minute, bro. Take your flowers. THDL. Stand up, my brother. You know how it's good. You know what's going on here. Because you know what? I also predicted a win. Normally, I would go for something huge, but I said we have goals in our team, and I said, maybe we might concede, but I always thought we were gonna win like a 3-2 game. Maybe 3-1 or 3-2. But we ended up winning 2-1. I also did predict that we would go up 2-0 before the half. I just didn't predict that we would, not concede multiple goals at the second half. So you know what, Joe? Big up to you, bro. Fantastic win, great performance, fully deserved victory. Makes it much, much sweeter. 100%, my bro. Watching that game, one of my buddies, he's from Africa, Ghana, to be frank. He's here visiting because he lives in London, and he was here visiting. So yesterday he was over watching the game, and he was like in shock. He was like, "Bro, we just scored," and I was like, "Yeah, man, it's going really nicely." I wasn't able to do a watch along yesterday. I wanted to join in, but I just ended up watching the game and hanging out, and I couldn't help but just enjoy the moment, not being able to just focus on the game, enjoy that great win. Wow. Must have been something for the fans in the stadium at Wembley, guys. I mean, I think they would be making a mistake to sack this manager. We could sit here and argue about finishing in the league in top four or whatever, but this is a rebuild season, Mark. And I've been saying it many times. We're in a rebuild season. We should not have been expecting to compete for the league title. We should not have been even expecting to finish top four. What we should have expected is to see progression, which we have seen. And now that we've won that cup, we stamped a progressional statement that we are here to win titles. You can see that he's building into the squad a mentality of winning titles, and it's also breeding into the youth in the academy. And yeah, sure, there been more people involved with the youth, like McKenna and these guys, developing them. But in the last 2 seasons, the young academy has been winning everything. And the under 18s have won the treble. They won the under 18s division title, the national title, and the equivalent of the FA Cup. So you guys, it's one of those things where this title winning culture is being bred into the club. And we want it to translate into the 38 games of the season, and it will. But it takes time, guys. You have to be a little bit patient. And in the meantime, while we're building up to dominating the league, we're able to win cups and feature in the cups in all of our domestic cups almost to the end. Guys, all we need to add to that is winning the Europa League next season, and we are back. We are in steady progression to win the big stuff. It takes time to develop a dynasty, guys. Winning now, finishing second, that's a relative in my opinion. But if you could win cups and progress in the league and maintained all fronts while performing well on all fronts. That's the kind of United we want to have again. That's the kind of United that we had when we won the treble. And it takes time to build those things. You can say what you want about the finish in the league this season, guys, but under Oli and Jose, we have not featured in cups back to back finals. It's one of those things. With Martinez out, our defense was very stable. Yeah, big up, big up, big up. THDL 100%. We're riding down. ETH at the door. Yeah, we're opening the door for ETH and we're giving him an extra season, bro. And I don't know if you know Omo, but he has a player type contract that was signed with 3 years and an option to extend for a year, my guy. So you can sit there and be mad. Maybe all the deliberation is because they're planning on triggering that extra year one time. So he has 2 years for sure. You never know because, football isn't linear. What if next season, Manchester United and Ten Hag, they win everything? Maybe they compete for the Premier League down to the last game day, but they win the FA Cup again. We win the Carabao and we win the Europa League. What are you gonna say? What are you gonna say then, bro? The cup hasn't blinded anything, Olmo. Suhail just proved you wrong on X, bro. You were just in the space on with me on drill, and the guy just proved you wrong. Style of play does not win titles, bro. Because if style of play won titles, Arsenal should have won last season. Arsenal should have won this season. Because in the Premier League, no team this season had a better style of play consistently than Arsenal, bro. No team. City didn't have a better style of play this season than Arsenal. So why is Arsenal not winning anything? Tell me, bro. Like I know you could. I'm gonna drop the link if you want to come in. Anyone, you can join in and have your say. It's a celebration. I'm just cutting my celebration a bit late because here, what we were so busy celebrating with everyone last night. We got time to celebrate today. We still winning the FA Cup, bro. We still have to do our little mini, party everywhere all weekend long because it's the FA Cup. We got no more football until the window opens. We got transfers and scouting reports to come. The team could only get better, guys. When I did the video yesterday morning, I said to everyone, I said this starting 11, it might not be the best, but it gives us the option to improve going forward. Big up to you, Kenny Fan TV. What up, Omo?
Omo and Mark, big up to you, man. I'm buzzing. I'm still buzzing. What a Sunday! I've
Is,
absolutely,
is,
I've
wait, hold up.
absolutely,
Is my mic working? Real quick.
Yeah, working. Your
yeah,
mic
yeah,
working.
yeah,
All
yeah.
right, go on, Shafir.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. All I'm gonna say is that like I'm still buzzing, man. Unbelievable performance from last night. I was just like I'm literally proud of the boys. I'm just proud of the of Eric Ten Hag as well. I mean, the whole team and the coach, they fully deserve a lot credit from me. Like 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 first half, like in the first half, they just kept they we were really organized. We just frustrated Man City. And by the way, we should have been 3-1 3-0 up actually. And I was actually glad that we were so clinically good. We were really clinically good. Bruno Fernandes, fantastic man, fantastic captain today. I was so proud of him, man. Amrabat, what a performance from Sofian Amrabat. Absolutely manhandled Phil Foden. Absolutely manhandled Phil Foden. This entire game, my days. This was the Amrabat that I watched. I watched in the World Cup. If I'll be very honest with you, he looked really fit. He looks like a guy who's literally who's literally so fit. Like I remember last time we literally spoke about Amrabat. He was a little bit off pace on the ball and like off the ball. But now I'm starting to see like the real Amrabat. Like and Varan simply world class performance. Wan-Bissaka did fine. Rashford did okay. He finally is starting to show a little bit of signs, but he needs to do better against Kyle Walker. Um, Onana made a really good saves He made a couple of good saves as well. Who else? Lisandro Martinez. Oh my god, man. Martinez, man. I missed this guy for ages, man. My goodness. Lisandro Martinez, man. I missed him for ages, man. Unbelievable, man. He was everywhere. When basically Alejandro Garnacho scored the goal, he was like, go back, go back. Go back. The game is not over yet. He literally just said that to Alejandro Garnacho. He was telling him to be humble. The game is not over yet. He
Hundred
he has,
percent.
he has shown me that he is a Premier League winner material of a player. This guy is the guy. Go on, Omo.
Big up, Omo.
Big up. Um, you want to talk about the game, or you want to talk about us now winning the league with this manager? Which one?
Let's talk. Hold on. Let's hear what the manager have to say, and then I'll let you react, and you could take the topic wherever we will go
I
on
don't,
to that.
I
And
don't, I don't listen to the manager talk because it gives me a headache. I don't like when he
nah,
talks.
let me hear the
I
let
shut
me,
up.
let me, let me listen. I'm sure everybody want to
Yeah,
hear what the manager had to say. Let me
he
hear what
spoke
he have to say.
facts. He spoke
Let me hear what
facts.
you have to say.
Wait,
Well
you
done
sure you
so
won't get
much. This
demonetized
is
for
an
this?
unbelievable day for
No,
Manchester
it should be
United.
fine. It should be fine.
Everyone is so proud of what your team has achieved and
It's
deserved
just for
today. You were
educational
brilliant.
purposes, bro.
Every man from start to
Celebrating the
finish.
win.
I'm proud as well. First place on the players and staff. They did an incredible job.
Absolutely.
And the fans. The whole season. I remember Crystal Palace a couple of weeks ago when we played and they backed us.
Excuse the language there, it's okay. Eric's not
backed
speaking
us,
his native tongue.
And they are incredible. And I said it last week after Newcastle, they are the best fans in the world.
Yeah.
So I'm really grateful.
You've had such a nice moment there with them lifting the FA Cup and having this bond that you have helped create with this team.
The fans, they see our problems we have, and they see also the character the team put out on the pitch. And they are great guys. And they have had so many setbacks in the course of the season, individually, but also as a team. So many punches we got on our chin. All the setbacks. We showed now resilience. We fought every time we fought back across the season, individual and as a team. We dealt with it, and in the end, we have a trophy, so we are very happy today.
That's a great favour. Can you give a wave to the fans who are asking you to give a wave? You know, in that first half, when you played some brilliant football, I mean, you've got some players back finally and a stronger bench. If you had a fully fit team and we played like that, the season would be so different.
But we didn't have those players available. And nothing against the Wolves who played. They did everything they could done. But now we put quality out, and also we had quality on the bench. And there you see we have an identity. There you can see this team showed character. This team can transfer a good plan on the pitch against also, I have to mention, a very good Manchester City.
Yeah.
Eric, just before the game, we were watching the warm-up and the players looked fired up. You could see it in their eyes. What did you say to them in the dressing room before? What were your words to them?
We did some special things, yeah. And as I said, the coaches did great. That was one thing. And also the staff. And we had some motivational videos. They were incredible. And they were so emotional. And the emotions went into their minds, and the mind drove the body. The bodies from the players, and it helped that we were a team, from the first whistle till the final.
You're giving me goosebumps and you're going to make me emotional in a minute, so we better let you go, Eric, and celebrate with your team. But thanks so much all season long for you fighting. Definitely. Thanks, boss.
Fellas, what are we saying? Olmo.
Listen, like I said, this man just give me a whole bunch of excuses like about players was fake. Like, bruh, this style of play, this identity stuff he wanted to do, he wasn't doing it since game week 1 to 35. The only time he did it was Liverpool. Wait, hold on. Let me pause before you interrupt. The only time he did this style of play, 0-0 Anfield versus Liverpool. Arsenal 1-0 loss. Newcastle 3-2 win. Brighton 2-0 win. So don't tell me he's been trying to do this from the beginning of the season. If players were fake, he won't be doing it from the beginning of the season. That's why I said his season, Enter Hawk season started at game week 36. That was listen, the Arsenal game, even though we lost 1-0, we played good that game. We played okay. Every other game before that, rubbish. Every game before that, rubbish. It's game week 36. That's when it's time to play football. Go on.
All I'm saying is, bro, like I know I don't even have to argue with you, right? Because in a sense, you see, I think I was saying this all season, but in a different way, and I feel like you wasn't hearing me all season, right? You know, I keep telling man, the style of play changing, players need to learn. It's like going to school. I learning a new language, German. It's difficult, bro. You know what I mean? But you had to practice and you had to research and practice and try and try. And you know, you will have mistakes. Some weeks
He's
might
trying
be
to
good and
he's
some
trying to
weeks
figure
might be bad.
he's
So
trying to
wait,
figure
hold
it
on,
out.
hold on. I'm gonna finish, bro. Now, the
Let him
problem is, while I doing all of this, I might have a week where I get sick. And if I sick, I can't do, and I sick at a point I can't study or do anything. I down that other week I lose. You know what I mean? So imagine, you know, you're trying to keep to a schedule, but then you're sick for a month. So a month of your schedule gone. So that's a month of progress, a month of where could I be, you know, qualitatively advanced because of continuity. You're on a pause, on a break. You know, sometimes it has happened where things don't theoretically work out like it should, like you think it should, or like you planned it should. But the reality is that you keep at it. You have to work at it. You know what I mean? And you have to go forward and take the next step regardless. And no, it might not always be perfect, bro. And I'm pretty sure, bro. Don't get me wrong and don't misunderstand me at all. I'm not entirely excited about finishing eighth. I know when I go out the streets, because I wear my Manchester jersey around in Deutschland, bro. And fellas, people will stop me and be like, yo, Manchester United, you got spiked 7-0. You know what I mean? So I take my banter, bro, and keep it moving. But at the same time, you gotta look at it progressively. We in a rebuild, right? I want to hear more out on this rebuild, bro. We in a
But
rebuild. No, no,
you,
no.
you know,
Hold on. No, it have no. I want to explain it so you can understand me real quickly, right? Prospectively and theoretically, a rebuild supposed to work where the first big window, you sell 5 to 6 players, you bring in 5 to 7 players. The second small window, you sell 2 players, you bring in 2 players or 3 players. The second big window, the third big window, you go with another 6 or 7 players and the same come in. You know what I mean? And that is called squad rebuilding, right? No, so squad rebuilding just as important to have the coaching players in the squad. It's also important to move players out of the squad, right? Because as much as we might like some of these players, some of the players may not be right for the identity of the squad going forward, right? So when you're blaming the manager for things not functioning, just remember that collectively a squad rebuild and a rebuild situation for a club is take time. And in that time, you must see exits just as much as you must see incomings. Big up Danny B. You know what I mean? And as well. And you know, we could talk about I would never refer to money when it comes to Pep, Arteta, Klopp, no manager. You wanna know why? Managers don't sign checks. And if a manager give you a list of players to get as a club and your negotiation staff are incompetent and they cannot get those players done, then that is not the manager's fault. If you had to spend more money to get it to compensate for a shit negotiation team, that is not the manager's fault. You
exactly.
understand? So I taking it out of the equation for all managers. So let me do. So when you say
yeah,
talk
I
about
don't
a
talk about
manager,
money.
no, yeah, but a lot of fans just blame managers on money spent and manage and play. Bro,
Nah,
managers will
nah.
make mistakes. Managers will make mistakes. Club will make mistakes. Clubs will sign players for a manager, and clubs will sign players they want to sign for the club. It always happen in every club, no matter where you go, buddy. You know, I feel like we hear these buzzwords and buzz phrases and buzz statements like style of play. Of course, you know what a style of play is for me? The identity. Style of play for me is translating to a team's identity. And when a team in a rebuild, they're trying to find that identity. Now, Manchester United, we always had our identity. But if you look at the type of players we have in this squad, bro, and you look back to the Manchester Uniteds of old, tell me how many players in this squad we missing to match the identity from old, bro. Because I could see 5 or 6 players missing. We do have a player like a Roy Keane in the midfield, which we always used to have in our winning Man United team. We finally we get a young Ronaldo kind of look-alike wannabe. You know what I
A
mean?
little bit.
We get our style in the attack.
I'm
We
gonna
get a
hijack
striker. We get a
because I
striker
must
that
disconnect.
reminiscent of a Van Nistelrooy up front. He might be young and raw, but he reminiscent of a Van Nistelrooy up front. You know, the only thing we missing a defender that give you the reminiscent vibes of a Ferdinand, somebody composed and could fire up the team, but they're willing to lay back and be the second
Mo-
string to aggressive one.
Before I
You know what I
disconnect,
mean?
let me explain.
No, but this is what identity is. And if you look at
Yeah,
our club over the years, we always had players like that fit those same similar profiles from teams of old that won stuff, right? And this is what our identity is. So when people say Manchester United style of play, for me, we must have a player reminiscent of our village, a player reminiscent of our kind of our Evra like styling, a player reminiscent of a Rio
let, let,
Ferdinand, a Gary Neville type of a right back. You know, whether they change
let, let,
them around in different positions, a left back version or a right back version, we need those type of energies to collapse because our club built off of those things. If you go back in all the teams that win,
let me
they are
explain before
similar
I disconnect. I'm gonna
personalities.
disconnect.
Go on,
So
Omar.
let me explain real quick. Yeah, my thing is your style of play. For example, my thing is style of play wins your title. Eventually, lead you down it will lead you down the path to win title. This manager has made mistake from game week one. He has made mistake. He has made mistake and he didn't change it up. With injuries, without injuries, he has made game mistake and he still didn't switch it up until the game week 36. That's why I said players were available. He chose not to do them. Everything this manager has done from game week 1 to 35 has been a choice that he made on his own. Because again, he could have switched it out earlier. For example, season one, we all agreed that was not his style of play. Majority of us agree. No, I agree. It's not his style of play. Season one. Season two, he tried to implement his style of play. Now, come season two, he tried to implement style of play. His style of play doesn't work. His style of play doesn't work. Because again, if the play is missing, everything goes to scramble. Now, game week 35, with injuries, he has found a way to make it work. So that shows to me like, oh, Ethan Hawk, your style of play cannot work because you need certain key players. Why? What you did at game week 35, players were injured and you're able to make it work. So I'm like, oh, okay, this way will work all the time. This other way that you've been trying from minute one was not working. And that's to me showed as a choice. So pretty much,
Yeah, but
listen,
Omo, you see
listen,
the problem is with that, right, Omo?
the thing when you say identity, listen, that identity ain't coming back no time soon.
Bro, the
Whoever
identity is
whoever
coming back. You see, here what's going on, right? Listen, right? I understand your perspective on things. You know, you need to see it to believe it, right? You don't need to see you need to see blatant signs. For me, I could see it forming up. I could see it coming from a mile away in a distance. I could see it. I
wait,
could
wait,
see what
wait,
will become.
Mark,
No, and you
before I
see,
go,
listen,
I'm
we
about to leave. Where we man to man pressing for the past 3 games.
that's fine, but we've been doing that all season.
I'm in the listeners because I'm gonna disconnect.
I will explain to you as you drop down, bro. Big up for coming in, bro. Because you see, when you look at it like this from this perspective, right? That time, a team will still need time to do what they need to do and to progress, to learn, to function in a style of play. It doesn't just happen overnight, guys. You know what I mean? And sure, we could say about it as a 35 game week, but if the manager implementing a new style of play, let me leave the injuries out, right? Let me say he had no injuries. Then, of course, there's a terrible season. You know what I mean? Because if you have no injuries and a fully fit squad, then what you're coaching the players when the squad challenging each other in training, it should be interacting and it should be improving every game week. You know what I mean? But when you have half of your squad unable to train, so your squad, these fit players training with under 18s and under 21s, where there's a physical barrier, because most under 18s and under 21 players not going to be as physical as an adult footballer, professional footballer who played in the league. You understand what I mean, guys? And while we might say, well, listen, now to move on from that. When you have a certain amount of injuries out from a squad, you can't train properly because you don't have that competition at or the level of competition you go and face in your games in your training, and thereby making you either a little bit lethargic or less physical than you should be. Because here, what, you're not getting that presence to your body, your muscle memory, not remembering you need to be at this level. You need to push this hard. You need to drive this fast. Because it's easy to say that the manager is failing, but it's harder to say that, this team taking time to learn a new system and they will make mistakes. Are we not going to allow our manager to make mistakes? Or are we going to say, well, oh, we should just sack this manager, bring another manager, and allow this next manager to make mistakes for what, 18 months, 2 seasons, not winning any trophies? Because I doubt any one of these managers that we have lined up are going to guarantee us a trophy next season and guarantee us a trophy in the season following, despite where they finish in the league. You know what I mean? So we have to
Yeah,
look at it prospectively. I don't know about you, Sachev, but I feel like,
yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
saying,
Honestly,
yeah,
yeah,
go ahead, bro.
I feel like I feel like with the manager situation, right? Like especially with Kevin McKenna. I mean, I will give some credit where it's due, because especially when he brought Ipswich Town back to back promotions. But I
Mhm.
feel like him possibly going to United, it's going to be a big step. A huge step. Like it is going to be a Graham Potter-esque situation, and I will honestly will feel bad for him if that happens. He's going to get scrutinized within months. So I don't want him to lose a lot of a reputation. I want him to stay at Ipswich, or maybe go to Brighton, where you can elevate yourself as a coach in the Premier League. I don't want him to go into a huge club, huge big six clubs, where you basically try to implement your own style of play, and then if things don't work and all, then like I know this fan base really well. They're going to call for his head out.
Yo, I didn't even mention this just now. Imagine you have so many entries that the options on the bench is your academy. 4 or 5
Yeah,
academy
there
graduates,
were a
bro.
lot of like
You
academies on
know,
the bench.
so yeah, no. So you see, the problem is, like I understand that we are Man United. We supposed to be better, true. But currently, in the reality and the grand scheme of things, our team is not there, and it's
It's not even there
okay.
yet.
It's fine. It's totally fine. I don't know why so many fans have a problem with this. I feel like it's totally fine because not everything, not every day is Sunday. You know what I mean? Bayern Leverkusen fans will tell you that, bro. Everybody here was like, I was out on that day, bro, when Bayern Leverkusen was playing Atalanta, bro. And
Oh, you
everybody, and bro, I walk into a pub. This guy buy around the Bears. I got one, and he was like,
yeah,
"Yo, Leverkusen, Atalanta." Me, Sacha, Atalanta. You know what I mean? Everybody in the
yeah.
bar, everybody turned around and
Mm.
look at me like, I was like, Atalanta, bro. Like they would watch. Italian teams have a strong defensive foundation, bro.
They have a really good they
And
have
then
yeah they
and
have a really
Atalanta is one
stable
of those
defense.
few teams for that was early in playing that expansive style in Italy, right?
Exactly.
They've been playing that for the last 3.5 seasons. So I know Atalanta know how to combat Leverkusen. Now, Leverkusen was the indomitable force this season. And 100%, I was like, yo, picking them
Without
out
any
of the
doubt, yeah.
sheer fact that, I probably, just find Italian football a little bit stronger. Just me. And that's it. You know what I mean? And you know what? When they
Mhm.
scored the first goal, I was like, whoa, this
Ooh.
this was not what I was expecting. I
Yeah,
was thinking
exactly.
to
Yeah.
myself that Leverkusen would have scored, Atlanta might have equalized, they'd have tussle it out for a while, and Atlanta might have sneak a goal. you know. But then they score again and they score again. It's like,
Yeah, when they like when they actually score the third goal, I was like, nah, it's done. It's game over. If this was literally 2-0, like I would knew like maybe Bayer Leverkusen could potentially make a comeback, because like because I've seen them this whole season in all competitions. So but like
yeah,
if yeah, but like Lookman, but like I mean, shout out to Lookman, man. He was their own star player at the AFCONs, and
hey
he and
Craig, if you want, the link is pinned in the comments. If you want to come in, you could come in and have your say, buddy. You know, the link is pinned in the comments for anyone who wants to come in and have their say, and I'll bring you up to the stage. Yeah,
Lookman is the first player to score a hat trick in
in
the
a
Europa
European
League.
League final. Yeah, amazing stuff. Maybe next season you might see the second. You know what I mean? He was a
Mm,
former Atalanta player as well, so you never know. It might be in the pedigree. You know what I mean?
mm,
At the same time, when like watching United over the last few months, such as you know me, bro, I staunch back in this team heavy with supporting with the
you
manager.
always, oh, yeah,
But
100%.
at the same time, I felt I was a little bit too realistic for a lot of folks liking, and they would probably think that my standards on the floor because remember I told you such if we was going to lose about 10 or something games in the Premier League alone, and I would
Oh
have
yeah,
been
yeah.
fine with that, and I was like,
Mm.
bro, I didn't want to lose 14 games, but I just felt like, it's a
Yeah,
rebuild.
yeah, yeah.
The
Yeah, you
manager
felt that.
employing a
Mm.
new style of football. I do expect some of these players to be able to play this way, So I felt like they would be a liability. And then I wasn't even accounting for injuries. I was not accounting for
Exactly.
injuries, bro. And that's what
Yeah.
killed me. That's what kind of had me a little bit, you know, I don't know how to say. I don't know if to say it was, frustrated with some fans because it's not like if I dislike them or like I'm mad at them or anything. I just disagree with them so much. Is because it's like, yeah, I understand the theoretical approach that he could change something, but
Correct.
changing something means not sticking to your plan. And yeah, we could be pragmatic, but if we wanted to be pragmatic, week in week out, we should have just kept Jose Mourinho or Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who are pragmatic coaches. Why would we want to play attacking, expansive football, but then want a coach to be pragmatic week in week out? That makes no sense to me. So
Yeah.
when you tell me the manager's supposed to change something, bro, go back and watch Pep first 2 seasons in the Premier League. The players who were not able to follow the way he wanted to play, he shipped them out of the club and brought in players who could. If Pep was such an amazing, outstanding, legendary coach, a player coach, why did
Mm.
Man City sign 52 players under his tenure at the club? 52!
That's madness. Yeah.
That's a stagger, bro.
That's a lot.
52 signings the man had,
52.
bro. I don't
That's mad.
understand what it is you guys are talking about when you say to me Pep is such a great coach. Now, if you tell me Arteta is a good coach, we could say that. Because you know what? He
He's a
had
good coach.
what? He had a lot
Mm.
of signings, but most of his signings are young players, and he developed them. He had most of these signings for the last 3 seasons, bro.
Yeah.
Pep squad in the last 3 seasons, there's a difference of about 11 to 15 players different,
Mm.
right, over the last 3 seasons. And that is huge. That is
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah. Yeah, because they have yeah because they have yeah because they have the structure above him, and they used to have Omar in which we basically have him right now. And yeah, like Pep has a lot of resources with him. He has a good scouts where he can where he where the scouts can even scout players. And Pep didn't really sign players. It's basically someone else. So
No, but I'm not trying to say that he's a bad coach. But what I'm trying to say is that, we're
yeah,
not
100%.
even allowing our manager. We are Man United fans, and we're not even letting our manager have the comfort to sign players to fill his squad the what he needs. But then we would come back and talk about another manager who was allowed to do this. And we
Mm.
saw him be successful. So if we don't allow our manager to do this, why should we force success from a crop of failed players? Let me say this squad. Now, they're not all bad players, but they not all can fit the system. So statistically, we have a even weaker squad depth, even with those players available,
Weaker squad.
because
Mm.
they don't match the style. They can't cut it. Some of them, right? Whether it's six or it's four or it's eight players that can't cut it, those eight players matter in terms of squad depth across the 38 games that you're arguing about.
True.
And why Pep didn't fix the midfield space yesterday that he abandoned? Explain me that. Eric Ten Hag forced Pep to become Man United yesterday. Man City looked like a Man United. If you take the same pictures you guys were posting about Man United all season, that was Man City yesterday. The space in their midfield was ginormous. There was a giant gaping gap.
That was
And
giant.
Pep
True.
never closed that gap
He
for
never
the
closed on the gap.
entire game.
Indeed. Yeah. Yeah, I think there was one point of time he basically took off. He basically took off for Kevin De Bruyne. I was like, that was huge.
Yeah, I mean, in a way, I thought that might have, improved the game. But in a way, it had to be done. And people will say it's tactical, but I would say this. If you check Kevin De Bruyne numbers this season,
Kevin De Bruyne wasn't even good. I'll
he never
be very
played
honest
more
with
than
you.
70
He
minutes
wasn't
this
good.
season as well. He never played more than 70 minutes because of his hamstrings. He's not allowed to play more than 70 minutes because his hamstrings will give trouble. And then he might get back injured again. So this was more like, he had no choice. He was only able to play him for 70 minutes. Yeah, Craig, I think I would keep Amrabat. Like, you see, the way I look at it is that we need to sign players to bring in depth, and we need to have players who could come into the squad. So we need starters and we need backups. We need
Correct.
rotational players as well,
We need rotation
right?
as well. True.
We have seen Amrabat could come in and do a job and deliver. And some players, Craig, for me, I will always be honest. Some players is not that player, it is not an impact player. You can't just bring them on for like 30 minutes in a game and they will do well. Some players will function well there. Some players won't. Some players need to play minutes. They need to warm up with a game, and they need to play consecutive games to find form. Amrabat is one of those type of players. You know what I mean? And
100%.
15 million, bro. Pretty sure we could negotiate them down to 10 million pounds because they already replaced Amrabat. So right now, I think they will grab
I
10
take him.
million pounds.
I will
I
take
think they
him.
will grab 10 mil. You know what I mean? And let's just be honest. Maybe we could send them Hannibal Medjbury and give them a 5 million and keep Amrabat on and keep
How
Amrabat.
much is how much is he a Hannibal? Is he like 20 million?
I don't even know, bro. Like right now, he hasn't played a game this season. He has not been able to fix
I would
his.
say
He
probably
has not
25
been able,
million.
bro. The biggest thing for me is that he has not been able to repair the fallout that he had with the manager at Sevilla this season. So thereby, he got no game time. So he just wasted his opportunity to develop himself while on loan in Spain. And
Yeah,
his attitude, bro, is a problem for me. He is a talented footballer.
100%.
Don't take that
True.
away from him. I wouldn't
Yeah,
take it away from him. He's a talented footballer. I would have expected great things from him, but his attitude is killing him,
he is some
killing
attitude
his
problems.
game, killing his whole chance at being a professional. And that's the most disappointing thing to see. Someone with all that talent lose their chance because their attitude is bad.
Yeah,
I
true.
think I don't think we should worry whether Amrabat is a starter or backup. I think he should just be kept for the fact that we need him there for rotational, for to rotate in games.
Rotation squad for
Because I
me. Yeah,
don't
for me.
think I would start him for every single game. If I had
Hmm.
to say, I would start him for probably about 20 games out of the 15. And that is in Premier League for me. And I think that's more than enough reason to have a player in your squad if he will start 20 games a season.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, yeah, for me as a, yeah, for me as a squad, yeah, for me
Yeah.
as a squad,
And
yeah, pretty much.
the reason why I say 20 games, bro, is because we have a young Dan Gore Jr. coming back from loan, and I need for him to get game time this season. I don't know about you guys, but trust me, I'm telling you all now. When you see Dan Gore Jr. sit next to Kobe Menu, you are going to be happy. You are going to smile. You are going to enjoy it, and you are going to want to see more of it. Trust when I tell you that. Big up to you, Madhouse. Hope you're well, my brother. How you're
But I
doing
was big up,
today?
man.
What did I tell you yesterday, my bro? I told you were gonna win. I told Mick to calm down and have a
Yeah,
chill.
Mick was
Yeah,
on
Mick
the
Mick
fence,
was
man.
Mick saw that lineup and he saw Scott
Yeah,
McTominay.
Mick was on
He
the
saw
fence.
he
I
saw
was just,
Rashford and he was
I was
like
like,
Super
okay.
Saiyan,
He
Super
was
Saiyan
Super
mode.
Saiyan. He was a Lord Super Saiyan, man. He was on Super Saiyan mode. I
Yo,
can't
I
lie.
could totally understand him too, but you know
I
what I
can't
mean? Like, I
understand
just
him too, bro.
silently get mad now, so like, I not go and rage out like that for some things, so like, I saw the lineup and I was so
Oh yeah,
shocked in
I forgot to
disbelief that
mention about Scott
McTominay
McTominay.
and
I thought,
Rashford was
yeah, I thought
starting,
he
and I
was.
was like,
I thought he was actually all right though.
I
He
mean,
was
you
actually all
see,
right.
I was like, at first I was upset and frustrated because I was like, I am. People might think I dislike Ahmad, but I actually wanted Ahmad to start. In my prediction, I put Ahmad starting in my
I
starting
wanted
lineup.
Ahmad as
You
well.
know,
Hmm.
and I was like, Rashford, bro. I would start Anthony over Rashford right now, just because I think in the last 10 games he was in better form. And would offer more. So I was like, when Rashford start, but then I started thinking, you know what? If Rashford come into the game in the first 25, 30 minutes, maybe we might see a replay of what happened against City in the game over the Etihad. And I was like,
Yeah.
that could be fine. And then if he die out, they could just substitute him. You know what I mean? They could just take him off. And if you took him off,
Hmm.
big up, Craig, big up. You could just take him off and bring on another player. You know what I mean? So for me, it was like, this doesn't really weaken us. Actually, it gives us an opportunity to strengthen the team towards the end of the game. You
Yeah,
know,
towards the end of the game. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and I just saw it from that perspective, and I was like, well, it's not all that bad. And I saw
Really.
Scott McTominay, and I was like, well, if Bruno had floss nine, Scott in the midfield,
Bruno at false
midfield,
nine actually worked last night. It worked.
I was like, it's not going to be that bad. You know what I
It's not
mean?
going to be like that as well. Yeah.
And it really wasn't. Like, I literally said to Mick, you know what would be funny? We go up 2 goals and go into the second half, and man, them gonna be, and what y'all gonna be saying to yourselves? What would y'all be saying? Y'all would be mad at yourselves for overreacting like this right now. And at halftime, I messaged Mick and I was like, Mick, how you feeling now, bro? Like, I told you, calm down. It's not that bad. You know, he's like,
Yeah,
it's
it's
not
not.
over yet. But you know what?
It's not over
Mick is such
yet.
Mick is such a huge Manchester United fan.
He
Bro.
is. He
Like,
is.
I'm telling you guys, this guy was in tears when Man United win that game. Probably from the
Yeah.
87 minute,
I,
right before the goal score, he was probably in tears because he probably thought we win. But as a fan, I will be honest. I don't know about you guys, but from minute 74, I just felt like there's no way we was losing this game.
yeah.
From
Yeah.
minute
Same.
74, I just sat back into the couch watching the game, and I was like, you know, it more likely United scored third goal than Man City scored their first goal.
100% true.
I mean,
Yeah. We
Doku came
were
on and he had a good stint, you know,
Doko.
but the
Yeah. I
goal
was
he scored
more.
against Onana, bro, you know me how mad I was at the Onana at some
Bro,
point this
I
season.
was. I was.
And I
I was
was not
mad
even
on that.
mad at Onana because you want to know something? I thought this nigga saved. I thought this guy saved. I thought my brother saved that shot.
I thought he
and it
saved a
went out
very
on the other
good
side of
inside
the
goal.
post or around the post, And then I realized it in the back of the net, and I was like, you know what? Hard luck, bro. Good try, bro. It's like that save that I saw him save it, bro. Like literally, I see him save it, and it just
I thought he
bumped
saved
into
it
the
as
net
well, but
rather
I
than
don't know how
out
did
the
that go
net,
into as well.
bro. And I was like, yeah, that small thing, You could see why he punched the post and thing because like his finger is not like it just hit the inside of his knuckle rather than the outside edge, so it didn't go all the way out. So it was like, yeah, Craig, you know what I mean? I man have real patience and faith, bro. Trust what I'm saying, bro. So I
Yeah, I
wouldn't I
was
wouldn't
like,
wish that on anybody, like because it probably had to see a lot of things to have that much patience and faith, but at the same time, patience for
I
me,
was more I was
hand in
more
hand.
fearful when I was more fearful from the City players when they basically tried to shoot from long range. I was like the last time the Champions League final when Rodri scored a long range goal, and at the same time I thought Kyle Walker scored, but Onana made a really good save. I thought we were just gonna go in, but yeah, when basically Doku scored, I was like, oh no, could this be another Champions League moment again? I was like, no, there's no
Ah,
way.
even
I
when
was like, no
Doku scored,
way.
bro, you wanna know something? I was like, that goal was so lucky because it just passed in between two players.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm?
Yeah, I felt it that way as well, but I was like, oh, how did Onana not?
No, but you see, like I couldn't even blame one. You can't blame defenders for that too, right? Because he
Hmm.
really catch Wan-Bissaka with that extra step over that he do push when he push the ball, drag it out wide. He get the release everything with the timing or the push to create space, create the space he was creating, and he just let loose. You couldn't stop that, you know. And for Nana to get down and get a hand to that ball, I telling man them next season Onana is going to be a better keeper than he was this season by far. And
He will be improved. He will be
he will
improved a
be
lot.
improved. And you know why I'm saying that too? Because I don't know if man them looking at paying attention to Onana, but Onana, when he came into this club, he was at least 10 to 15 pounds more bulky. And now he trim. Onana looking trim and he looking flexible. He looking like he could
He
get
looks
down.
flexible as well.
He does like he looks different. Like before, when he started, he could be look more muscular. Now he looks more like a goalkeeper. You know what I mean? So yeah, you know what I mean? Like I think that this season, we went through a lot of changes, a lot of different things happening to the club and in the club, about the club. You know, I think as fans, we should just, take it on the chin. Like, nothing is pointing to a direction of this could be our fate next season again. You know, because first of all, one thing is for sure: with a fit squad, we are definitely going to be better, at
A
least
lot
by
better.
10
So,
points than we were this
at
season,
least.
at least, right? So that's one. Just imagine the players who didn't show up this season that were fit and available are showing up next season in every game, just as fit and just as available. That's easily another 5 to 10 points. So that's, let me say, we at 60 points, we could have finished this league on 80 points with a full fit squad.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So like
true.
it's just as easy for fans to say, "Oh, we not going to win nothing for the next 3 years," but it's just as easy to say, "Well, look, this team get 5 to 6 players to improve the squad. We know players leaving. We could easily be 10 to 15 points better next season. 10 to 15 points is 75 to 80 points, guys. Come on."
Agree.
You know what I mean? It's we're not like we have had poor performances. 100% fact. But yo, how many teams have poor performances, yet they're winning in the cups? Not much. Now, the whole thing is that we need to marry these two things together where we can perform well in the league and perform well in cups. But
Hmm.
those things take time. Grand ambitions, you need to build a grand foundation for. And
Absolutely.
it's a complex situation. The style of play situation, Danny B, I
I'll
don't
be
pay
honest with
attention to
you.
that right now. And the
I'll
reason
be
why I
honest
was
with
saying
you,
that,
right? I
yeah.
couldn't care less about style of play, man. It's like I couldn't care less about the style of play at the moment. All I care about is just it's just like we have to just stabilize our back line and like ideally we have to replace Casemiro and
Hmm.
like if we do possibly get those good signings. I think next season we should be on a good shout of top three or top four. Actually,
Man, top four.
I wouldn't expect that, but we'll see about it.
Because you see, the thing is for me, Sachev, is that while I'm not gonna say we definitely gonna finish top four next season, I'm definitely saying that they have to watch out for United next season because we're gonna have a fully fit squad to start the season. We're gonna have some
100%.
new players coming into the squad that's going to make the squad better. Imagine having a defender of, of the quality of Martinez coming on to replace him as a substitute. Just imagine. And then imagine we have two players of the quality of, the potential of Varane as right centre backs. So one of these players get injured, you have someone else coming back
You
in
have
and doing
someone else,
basically the same thing.
same
Now
thing,
they mightn't be as good yet. They might be a younger guy, less experience, but mechanically the same, similar style of play, similar profile.
similar profile. Hmm.
Whether they're taller or the shorter, what I mean. All of these things will be into account. I don't know, but at the same time, when you look at those things, you will start to see that the drop off is not so bad. You will start to see that if a player is injured, the team still performs generally the same way it should be performing.
True.
And this is called rebuilding a squad that fits the style of play. And then when this squad of players that the substitutes play similarly or perform the tasks well, you know, then you start seeing continuity and consistency, no matter
Yeah,
who is in the starting 11. Then you start to see players get rotated in and out of the team more often because the performances of the team, the functions of the team are generally the same. You know what I mean? And at that point, is the slight different expressions and executions of certain players, that bring that spark moment of brilliance or, drive the team across the line. And this take time. And as much as we would sit down and say, he should make changes and it should, like that's our what if world. We could say what if we didn't concede 7 penalties in the last 7 games, and we would have been 15 points better because we would have won 6 of those 7 games, or we'd have drawn one. No, we'd have drawn two and won five. And that's 15 points, bro. And guess where 15 points would put us in top four? Because if we had
mm,
beaten Chelsea
that'll be
and
top four.
beaten Liverpool, we would be on 66 points at this point. And
Mm.
if we had, and then would have beaten Burnley because we wouldn't have drawn. It's Burnley that we drew it, right? 2-2 or something like that.
1-1.
1-1, right? So just look at that, bro. That's 9 points. That's 69 points. That's top four.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
that will be
and
top.
and you need to always take into account, because when Man United concede penalties, if the defender make a mistake and he's at fault, I am accepting of this. It's fine. If it's a handball, immediately it's fine because it's a handball. Can't do anything about that. But if our players go against another team and those same type of fouls happen in the box and we don't get them, are
We
we
don't get
supposed to
them.
say now this manager is at fault? Are we going to say the manager is incompetent because we lost that game? No, we can't really say that. Now, you could be mad that the player or players in question in the squad on that day didn't pick themselves up and do a better job. The manager could scream at a player from the sideline, hey, stay focused, don't worry, you'll get another chance. But the player in his head could be out on the field, could be like, yeah, okay, boss. And in his head, he thinking about it the entire time and he drop out the game. These things happen. Yeah, 100%
So,
Craig Womby. You know, with
facts.
Martinez and Shaw in the squad next season, you're
Facts.
definitely getting an extra 10 points. That's top four right there. I mean, think about it like this. You have a Willie Kwambala who gets some experience this season being drip fed into the squad and shown he at the level of the Premier League. Right? You have youngsters like Garnacho, you have who is
Ganacho,
going
Kobe.
to get better next
He's
season.
going to
For
get better next
sure.
season.
Because if you see the drip fed he get last season and look what he did this season, one of the most impactful players in the squad. Kobe Menu, debut season. When I told
Breakthrough
man
season.
about Kobe Menu, man was like, where was your sample size? Preseason? I was like, no. I was like, it's not just the preseason, it's the way the manager react to him getting injured.
I've seen him
Managers
last
don't react
season
like
as
that for
well. Yeah.
small injuries or there's react to that for injuries of critical nature. And when this young man was coming back, I just knew he was going to be a gem. From what I see from him in the academy, and I know Bruno in that midfield, and people might like Bruno, but Bruno is a man that's uplift young teammates. He's encouraged them to be better and tell them, hey, you're doing good. And players need that. And Kobe Mainu came into this team, and every single game, he tried to do his best. He tried to play his best, and he tried to be better than the last game. And you could only appreciate a player with that kind of work ethic,
Work ethic.
determination, and effort that he go and display. And we're not even talking about his ability and his talent because we know he have it in spades. You know what I mean? To have other youngsters to come up. You see, Ethan Whitley has played 2 games so far for Man United. He will be playing a lot of games next season. This young striker is a problem. Trust what I'm telling you, fellas. This young striker, Ethan Whitley, is a
Hmm.
problem. This fella, I just can't wait for everybody to see it because trust me, I think next season this young man gonna bag some goals for
He,
sure.
he should play. I think he should play in the. I think he should play in the cup games for me. Yeah,
You
cup
know,
games definitely. I wouldn't mind him playing.
yo, when Shaw is on the field, Rashford is better. We know that for sure. But Craig, a lot of people might be mad at me for this, huh? When the window open, the first day I would be selling Rashford. 60 million,
Yeah,
50 million, 55,
definitely.
60.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
would
he
sell
gone,
Rashford.
bro.
But
I'm
he's
sorry.
gone.
Like, people might be mad at me for this, but yeah, he's gone.
Yeah, for me, he's
Because
gone as well.
what I want is him to apply himself. I don't know what pressures it is he's dealing with, but those pressures are distracting from Manchester United having the footballer that we are owed, right? And hats off to the lad. You know what I mean? He's a Manchester lad. You know, he will give himself the best. He will try to give the best he can. But right now, his mind is not there.
It
And unless
isn't.
his mind is there, I cannot defend him because it would be seen as me having blind faith in him all the time. Because he's a very talented footballer, has all the right mechanics.
No doubt with that. Yeah.
But I dare I say this, guys. Yesterday I watched this. I watched this young man. I watched Bruno play a pass. Now I see the ball. I see Bruno scan. I see where Rashford stand up. I see where John Stones was stand up. And Bruno played the pass on Rashford. The ball pass, Rashford watch the ball and then take off. From the time he see Bruno scan, he's supposed to done take off. Because he's like about 5-6 yards behind John Stones. So by the time he take his
Yeah,
third
yeah, yeah.
stride, the ball would have been cutting through. He would have been running onto this ball in clear daylight space. But John Stones beat him to the ball. John Stones.
Jones.
That, bro, I don't know if that was so surreal to me, guys. That
It
John
is.
Stones out sprint Marcus Rashford to a ball yesterday. That
Yeah,
Rashford saw coming. Because before Bruno got the ball, Rashford look at him, Bruno watch at Rashford, and Look back, receive the ball, look back to see where Marcus was. Marcus was feeling like he go and run. Bruno make the pass. After Marcus see the ball passing him, he start running. And I would rather do one of two things. I would rather sell Marcus Rashford and bring back Mason Greenwood. Because, bro, I
I
guarantee
think
you lot, Mason Greenwood yesterday, in the two situations, it would have been goal. You see the ball over the
expected
top?
goals will be a lot higher
Bro.
expected goals will be
Marcus
higher.
Rashford got a ball yesterday. I think it was either from Amrabat or Bruno, maybe, over the top, and he controlled the ball on his chest. When he touched his next touch, Kyle Walker took it away from him. If that was Mason
Oh yeah,
Greenwood,
yeah, I
his
think so. Yeah,
goal.
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
You
I
know,
think so.
that's just how I look at it. You know what I mean? And to be honest, yeah, I mean, I don't mind giving Sancho a chance, but Sancho had to apologize to the manager publicly first. I don't want to hear nothing about no private conversation. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, yeah. If yeah, if like yeah, if like yeah, if like Sancho doesn't want to come back, he might as well just play. He might as well just revive his career at Dortmund. I wouldn't. I would be happy for him, 100%.
UNITED United are the team for me. Big up
Bigger
mental
mental.
ball game and everyone in the chat. Big up to you, Yali Malmin. What's going on, my bro? How are you guys doing today? The celebrations have been extended to Sunday. It might even go until Monday. You know, if you want to come in and have your say mental, the link is in the description. Big up to you, bro. It's also pinned in the chat. Been saying it
Uh,
all season. Rashford is losing his speed. Without his
yeah,
speed, what does he have?
I was just
You
about to
really
say
have,
like
Yali. Like I've been messing around with you all season, bro, and you really
he
have
literally
been
lost it.
been compounding that statement. He hasn't been as quick, and
He wasn't
you were
quick.
right,
Yeah.
bro. You were 100% spot on. Yo, Craig, Craig. I am the Mason Greenwood Defense League, the Support League, the
MDL.
Advocate League, right? This guy must return.
He has to.
He must return. I'm telling you, we need to get this guy back in the club. We need to give him our support. I think it will also bring the love of the football gods back to United. When all the referees favored us because they just loved us, the football gods just kept smiling. And I think we need to bring our boy home. We cast out,
I
it's like
mean,
the
I mean,
prodigal son. You know what I mean? He has to return for greatness to come back to United, bro. Come
I'll
on.
be honest with you, right? I'll be honest with you. Like, why would you sell Greenwood and then you get 60 million of from for Elise? That's a bad business for me. That is terrible.
That's bad business. That's a waste of
It's a
money,
bad
bro.
business.
That's money you could be spending on Giorgio Scalvini right here and Anselmino. You know what I mean? You could buy Anselmino and Scalvini for that same money. And that's two defenders coming in, making our defense better, bro. You know what I mean?
Facts,
Yeah,
facts.
no, you want to know something, Yali? I've been hearing recently, in Germany that they're planning to make an offer. They're gonna try to do a player and cash deal for Sancho. So they're probably gonna
Um,
try to offer us a player and Jaden Sancho and money for Jaden Sancho because they really want to keep him because they think with him in their season next season they might be able to win the Bundesliga.
Speaking of Sancho, Dortmund got into the Champions League, and I think from months ago when I actually heard like they would like Dortmund would like offer Sancho from us if they actually got into the UCL.
100%. And like Razwan is coming in saying right here, Olisi is good, but Greenwood is better. Edison is the guy United need. Amrabat has been good, but Edison is one for the
I have
future.
not
And yeah,
okay. Okay, I'll be honest with you. I only know Edison from like City. I don't
no,
know
you talking about the guy from Atalanta who I did the scout report on. I don't know if you
Oh,
remember. I was watching the video and I was talking about Edison, the midfielder, DM.
okay, okay, okay.
He's 23
Oh,
years
he's a
old.
DM, is it? Okay. Hmm.
Yeah, he plays at Atalanta. His name is Edison. He's from Brazil. He's 23
Ah,
years
okay.
old. Will be 24 in like 2 weeks or something like that because he's born in June. And he's a very, very rugged player. Very physical, very fast, very good on the ball. I believe he's left-footed, but it seems like he likes to carry the ball on his right foot. But his left foot is the better foot, actually, according to the reports. You know, so he's an uncanny player, unorthodox really, but really, really good at what he does. His best attribute is keeping a tempo of play, a tempo.
Keeping a tempo of
So
play.
he does keep the team ticking, yeah, in a sense. So like, he's that guy that's always have the team moving at the similar metronome beat, like a 1, 2, 3, right through constantly. And you could see it in the way Atalanta played in the game against Bayern Leverkusen. With that tempo, there was always on point. There was always on point. There was always on point where they needed to be. And I think these are important things because, like a lot of people might talk about a lot of things and say a lot of things, but at the end of the day, there's a football club and we want the best for our team to win. We want to be the best on the football field. And to be the best on the football field, you have to have the best players. You have to have the player. Like
Facts.
when I look at Doku yesterday, I'm sitting on listening to everybody talk about Doku, Doku, Doku. And I'm like, bro, if Mason Greenwood was on that pitch yesterday, nobody would care. No one would care about Doku, bro.
No
Because if
one cares about
Mason Greenwood was on that pitch yesterday, he would have literally had a hat trick, bro. I'm telling you.
Yeah, he would have. Yeah, he would.
Because
Yeah,
he
he
is
would have scored.
everything Doku is, but guess what? He does it with both feet, left or right, bro. I
Left
don't
or
know if
right.
Menacib Doku once Doku get that ball on his left foot and he started to do his thing. Mason
Yeah, yeah.
Greenwood is do it left foot, he's do it right foot. So you don't know if he gonna go to the left side or he gonna go to the right side of it. All he is know is he's getting past. You know what I mean? And this is
Facts.
the danger. When you have a guy that can walk up to two defenders, fake left and right, and go middle, unstoppable business, bro. And you know what? It's one of those things where I think, fans, at the end of the day, we have to look into ourselves. At the end of the day, this is our club. Whether or not we own the club or not, this is our club. And we have to think about it long and hard where we want to go as a football club. How do we want to be seen? Are we want to be seen as a pristine club of perfection? Because I don't believe that exists. Or do we want to be seen as the club for the people? The club that will always be there to be loyal and support you even through your dark times and
Facts.
even lift you up when you're winning. Because this is the kind of club every club wants to be. You know what I mean? You want your players to have the full faith that you will be there for them. Just like how we as fans want players to run and die blood, sweat, and tears on that football pitch for the badge, for us to win games. We had to equivocate that, guys. We had to give these players, that same bit of loyalty. No, I'm not saying blind faith and blind loyalty, but it's not really good to kick any guy when it's down, whether man, female, anyone. It's not good to kick them when you're down. Because sometimes when you're in a bad spot is when you need a friend or you need someone there to support.
Facts.
You know what I mean? So it's one of those things where it's either we go and kick this dude when he was down, or we go and support him and lift him up and show him the right way. Because it's one thing to say he's wrong, but it's another to say, well, we're not going to teach him what's the right. You know what I mean? And
Exactly.
I think that that's the biggest responsibility we should always have, especially to a young academy graduate that we brought up from 8 years old. He's been in this club, bro. You know what I mean? And what happened 2.9 years ago to this day. So for me, I'm like, listen, if we go and hold this stick against this guy for the rest of his life, then we gonna have to hold a lot of sticks against a lot of players and a lot of our friends for the rest of their lives as well. I don't think I have the energy to walk around with all those sticks, bro. That weight is going to be getting a lot heavy to carry. You know what I mean? Forgive and forget in some
Move in
situations
it.
is what is the
You're
only thing
right,
I
yeah.
think you can do. And in some situations, some things might be way too far gone for you to want to forgive or forget, but at which point we already know that the justice system would have prevailed. You know what I mean? And for whatever reason, whether it is by a flaw or by design or by God, this young man has a second chance. We shouldn't be standing in the way of that. We should be supporting that. You know what I mean?
You
He's
have
one
to
of
be
us.
supporting. Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
he's one of us, yo. Like he's one of us. And I mean, we could sit here and say, what if you had a sister? What if you had a mom? But what about you, bro? You don't have any brothers. You don't have a dad. You don't have you know what I mean? It's like if you have a little brother, you must be able to understand that. It's one of those things. Winning the FA Cup, moving forward and progressing, we as Man United, we always need to, keep it real with the fact that we need to be able to get the most for our money in the next two transfer windows because we don't have that much money. We
We
want to
have
build a
like
brand new stadium. Trust me, this is going to affect our transfer spend. I don't know how much it is. Like yesterday, I was
everything.
just begging that we win this game. You know why? Because if we didn't win this game yesterday,
You will
Adidas was
be
deducting another 15% off of their sponsorship monies that we normally would get for this season
right,
upcoming. They
right.
already deducted 15% for not qualifying for the Champions League. Imagine being out of Europe completely. It would have been 30% deduction.
Correct.
So when we're supposed to
Absolutely.
get 90 M's, we probably would get 60, 50, something like that. Now we getting
Around it.
70 something. Something like 70 something or something like that. So,
70
you
discounted.
know, so it's like, we have to always look at the bright side because at the end of the day, we all know that this United team has been a work in progress, guys. And we could all sit here and say we're United and we should be doing better, but we have not worked back to that base level of standard yet.
Yet, yeah.
Yeah, it's the first time in the last 7 years that we've been to consecutive finals and consecutive cup finals in back-to-back seasons. Funny
Mark,
enough,
yeah, and I'll be very honest, right? We have more chances in winning back to back trophies under Eric Ten Hag than like any other managers being linked at this moment. I'll be very frankly honest with you, right? If we sack Ten Hag, it is going to be we'll go few steps back. Trust me, we will go few years back. It's going to be backwards. It's like one step forward and it's going to be three steps backwards. So it's going to be 3 years again. And I don't want the next and I've just said it on I've commented on one of the United View channels, right? I said I've said seven managers about to be sacked in like 11 years, right? How long would you give the new manager time? What is the next plan? What is the long term vision? That is my question. How long would you give him? Simple as that.
well, listen, this is amazing start here, and I don't know if y'all thinking what I think in reading this statement right now.
Actually,
We getting a brand new
agree.
stadium because they're tearing down Carrington at the moment. That this by the end of this summer this should be finished, for training. That means that kind of says to me Eric Ten Hag is staying because I feel like if we was getting a new manager, they might not have break down Carrington this summer
Yeah, that's
because
true.
I mean the plans are what the plans would have already had to been in place already. So they're going to be doing this. And you know what? We needed this overhaul. We needed new training facilities, top of the line
We need
training
new training.
facilities. We needed to have state of the art training equipment and these stuff. Get up to the time. Get these guys the best that they could have because we want the best from these guys. You know what I mean? And trust. I've been to Carrington once as a young fella to see it.
Really.
Yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
as a young fella. One of my friends was signed as a young man before, but he didn't end up continuing because he ended up getting in an accident and was crippled and then. But Stuff has
Oh,
happened.
okay.
That was years
Hmm.
ago. But at the same time, if there's anything like it, what they say it was still to this day, then bro, that is Stone Age stuff. You know what I mean?
Hmm. This one comment from Yale Mamin. He says Braithwaite finished his audit and said, "Okay, yeah, yeah," and he said the practice, the training field is not good enough, so things will happen. Yeah,
100%. You know what I mean? Like, nah, I think Radcliffe. You know what? You don't know. You don't know. Funny enough, I think Radcliffe, right, already tell Eric Ten Hag, listen, we go into your situation to the end of the year, to the end of your contract. But if you want to go beyond that, you gotta show us, you gotta win the FA Cup. You know why? Because maybe Eric Ten Hag wanted to, enact his extension, this summer. Maybe they wanted to get some confirmation, maybe that they will probably consider the extension because his contract was at 3+1. 3 years with an option to extend another year.
3 years with an option. Yeah, yeah.
Right? So
Hmm.
maybe the whole deliberation is whether they're gonna extend that in advance or they're going to change the contract to maybe at 2 years with an extension, if you understand what I mean.
True.
I think looking at it one way that, the manager, they'll need to take away power from the manager. I don't think this manager really cares about it. I think the only reason he wanted a veto was because the type of players Man United was bringing in before was the wrong type of players. We will look at Ashley Young had us previously
Yeah.
came out and was slamming John Murto and these guys for changing the transfer strategy from signings that the scouts wanted that would improve the team to players that would sell shirts. Understand that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's a new. You see, when we think about the new revolution at United, a lot of people say, well, the CEOs, the structure now coming, so obviously they want to get their guy. It's always happen. Look at look at teams like Inter Milan. Look at teams like AC Milan. Look at teams in France like Lens. Look at teams in in Bundesliga like Leverkusen, right? It have couple teams about in football that have changed ownership, haven't changed managers, right? Now I get the whole point of they're bringing in their guy, but technically it could have this odd situation where the people coming in, one of the options already was the guy, and what they
Correct.
needed to do was build around that guy, like adding a structure around them to fully support them to take it to the next level and these things. And I don't like to argue, guys, that it's not a possibility that Eric Ten Hag could be sacked or Eric Ten Hag, could be this. But I would always leave the possibility open that You know, it's possible that is the flip side as well. They want to back Ten Hag. They think he's probably the best guy to take it forward. It was a project, the rebuild, which had started 18 months ago, was not progressing in a proper scale or properly planned order, as far as I'm concerned. And they just want to make sure that they could drive it in the right direction and get it back on schedule. You know what I mean? Fans in general, patience is always going to be necessary when you know your team in a rebuild. It's not going to be
Facts.
you buy
True.
10 players and the next 2 seasons you're competing to win for a title.
True.
You know what I mean? Yeah, Ali coming in talking about this here now. He guessed this would mean the new stadium happening. And, for me, this is what I've been saying for the last few weeks. Like, look at look at the waterfall it had in the stadium. Look at the flooding and stuff, right? Think about it carefully. Do you guys really think Manchester United is going to go into next season in the stadium with the way it is? Do you think we go and try to spend $500 million to make repairs to this stadium? I don't think so. I think United playing from Wembley next season. That is what I've been thinking. Ever since I see that flooding. Because the biggest problem could be a risk to people That could
Facts.
end Man United because if that stadium, any kind of damages or critical damages happen to any group of fans, bro, they will become the new owners of Man United. If you understand what I mean, they will sue on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you don't want these things. You don't want anyone to get hurt coming to a game that is supposed to be enjoying
True, man.
with the and you know Man United is sort of like a family tradition for a lot of fans. So you know, yeah, and then just hearing that they're buying up all the land around is just going in line with the diagrams that they posted about where they plan to route to build the stadium, which is right next to the new one, the old one, you know. And I would love to see it, guys. Trust. We need better seating room, bro. Like I sit in the Sir Alex Ferguson stand and
Yeah, you were.
my
Yeah,
knees
you
is
said.
being next to my knees is
Yeah,
being
you
next
actually
is be
told
on
me
the
this before.
side
Yeah.
is be the armrest for the person sitting in front of me. So
You
yeah.
actually told me this before, man. Yeah, that's madness. Yeah.
But it's be chillers, be chillers, be a nice vibe in the stadium. Big up to everyone joining. Don't forget to smash those likes and subscribe. You know, we just celebrating the day after Man United win the FA Cup into the Europa League and sending Chelsea into the conference.
Oh
Newcastle,
Lord.
bums, no Europe for you at
Apparently,
all.
apparently, I heard that Chelsea are going to play Conference League playoffs or something. Is it true?
Yeah, they have to play Conference League playoffs, bro, because you know the automatic Conference League spot. Yeah, they're not getting it.
Oh, that'll be the worst situation ever for Chelsea. But either way, either way, I,
Wait,
I
just some
wouldn't
wait.
mind them winning.
Wait, just some wait, just some wait. No, 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 they might get it. You know why? Because wait, just some wait. If Carabao Cup, Cup doesn't give you Conference League,
I'm pretty sure Carabao Cup gives you Conference League. I think. I mean,
okay. So if Carabao Cup,
I'm sure Carabao Cup. I'm sure Carabao Cup runners up actually does give you Conference League, because I remember last time when like Spurs finished runners up against City, right? They even got Conference League. Like I think around seasons ago. I don't know.
mm, wait now. So Tottenham in the Europa League too.
Fifth place, yeah, yeah, fifth place,
Okay.
yeah. Don't mind
Mm,
them at all. Don't mind them.
yeah, but okay. So then what going on with Liverpool Conference League spot?
Oh, Liverpool is in. Liverpool in third place.
Yeah, but
They,
they won the Carabao Cup. When we won the Carabao Cup last season, right?
yeah,
How many? It had two. So I think it had two English teams in Conference League last season.
yeah, I think so.
Hold on. Hold on. I'm gonna just double check this real quick.
Yeah, go
So
ahead.
Aston Villa was in Conference League. Yes,
They were in Conference League, I think. Yeah, they lost
Aston
to
Villa.
they they lost to Olympiacos, I think. Yeah.
Hmm.
I don't actually understand this sort of like the Premier League manager of the season. Is it like what's like what is exactly based on? Is it like based on like the manager at the end wins the league, or like how? Like basically what is the exact criteria?
I don't know, bro. I
I
don't
feel
know.
like I feel like I like for me, right? Una Emery actually for me it has to be Una Emery. Has to be Unai.
Probably, possibly, I don't know. Like, I feel like manager of the season, bro. To be fair,
Arteta maybe. Arteta or Emery.
oh man, I mean, yeah, Arteta might be, bro. I think I would give it to Arteta. Because you see, when I say I would
Arteta
give it to
can.
Arteta, I think yes, I think Arsenal, they showed a lot of control in every game that they played. I think they had the best consistent style of play throughout the league this season. And
Yeah.
I think that is why I think if you was to judge them, I play every game they played in the Premier League back to back against every
That
team.
is fair enough.
They
Yeah,
were head
that is
and
fair.
shoulders. Yeah, they outperform.
That
I
is
would
fair
think
enough.
that they had a few games where they weren't better than some teams. I didn't think they were really better than United. I didn't. I thought they was better than City. I didn't think they was better than I think it was Villa, that game they lost to Villa at
Villa,
home.
yeah.
I think they
Mm.
wasn't better than Liverpool one game, but they end up still winning the game against Liverpool. Um, but at the same time, I think if overall, I think they were the better team in 30, 40, 38, in like 32 or 33 of the matches that they played,
34,
or 30,
35 games
38
they were.
all season. So I feel like there's no hands down. You'd have to give it to Arteta. They didn't win the league, but they were the best team in the league, from my opinion. So that's just me. I know I actually not an INEOS supporter either, Yali, but I think they're gonna build a new stadium. I think this new stadium is gonna be under construction in the summer. I think we're gonna be playing at Wembley next season, and I will be happy to be playing at Wembley next season
Wembley of Wembley
because
of
Wembley
what?
is closer to where I be staying when I'm in London. So then I could probably come
Oh.
across every week for games more.
So basically, is the new stadium built is the new stadium going to be built like next to Old Trafford or like how?
Hold on, let me just pull this up real quick so I can show you.
I think yeah I think there was a map or something.
Yeah, go and pull up the map here for you now. Hold on.
Yeah, go for it.
Look at here, guys. So I'm gonna show you all it here.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is actually closer to Old Trafford. That's good.
Bro, it is Old Trafford, bro.
It's good, man.
Look at this, bro.
Yeah, I saw it as well.
Look at this, guys. I'm gonna just make it real big so you guys can see it, right? This is where the new stadium going, and that space where you're seeing the red right there. And it is said from what I've heard, it's the initial capacity is going to be 137,000. They're going to
Hmm.
add something like 50,000 fans to the stadium, or 60,000 fans more, which I
Hmm.
think they should, because I
They
want to
should.
have. I think the waiting list should be cut down, and like cut. They should cut out like 20% of the waiting list, because if you're building a Wembley at the North, why build a stadium that the base capacity is not more than 100,000, when week in,
True.
week out, we could be selling 100,000 tickets every single week?
Hmm. True. Yeah, facts. Yeah, yeah. Amrabat was superb, man.
Bro, I telling you, Craig, listen. I want a stadium holding minimum capacity 135K. And I telling you, man,
It
We
should be done.
selling that stadium out week in, week out, bro. Every single week we'll break Guinness Book of World Records in England, bro. In the world of football. We'll sell that stadium out every week.
Hmm.
Trust me.
True.
You know what I mean? Because we have the fans, bro. I know so many people that be dying to get tickets. You know, sometimes I go to watch games and I come in all the way from Germany, bro. Before it was all the way from Trinidad. You know,
Yeah.
so I come all the way from I come from Germany, and I get to Manchester. That's after catching a flight, driving maybe 2 hours sometimes because I might not fly into Manchester. I might have came in Heathrow, so my buddy pick me up. We drive straight to Manchester, and you sit down at the Bishop Blaze or the forget the other one, the Red Bar. Like I think it's like 200 meters to the right down a street on the main road there. It have a other bar that it's wrapped in red. So
Hmm.
either you go there or you go to the Bishop's Blaze. Usually we just go to the Bishop's Blaze and sit down and have some drinks. I sit in a corner where I could see the tip of the stadium peeping up from the street in between the houses. So, what I mean? I just sit there in that corner and just admire the architecture of the stadium while I'm having some beers, chatting rubbish. And in my honest opinion, there's be so many fans outside the stadium after we done fill it inside that if we had 20, 30,000 more seats, they would come right in.
They
And you
would
know what?
come.
It probably would still have more fans outside still.
True, man. True, man. Like
Madhouse.
the new stadium has to be a lot, like a lot attractive to the fans. And absolutely, we have to.
Minimum 130K. Double this capacity instantly. Immediately, bro. Even when we have away games, imagine. I am telling you, 15,000 fans of opposing fans every week will come to our stadium to watch their team get smashed. Especially City fans and Arsenal fans. Welcome them. 15,000, come in. You know what I mean? Let's take your money, give you some popcorn and some beers, and send you home packing with a victory. You know what I mean? So I think it would only benefit our club even more. I think it will, it bring more fans into the ground, bring more support to the stadium, and it will make it a gigantic fortress. You know what I mean? And
Facts.
it could only boost everything. It could only double what the revenue that we make already. It could only benefit the owners, stuff like that. I think that's necessary. I think it's very, very necessary to benefit the owners, to make sure the owners make a profit so that we could get the players we want consistently and have the spend that we want all the time. You know? So guys, don't be afraid. I know Old Trafford, and the biggest thing for me is that they're not actually gonna destroy Old Trafford.
They won't.
Old
They
Trafford
won't.
is going to be a 1.5 tier stadium that will remain to seat a capacity of somewhere in the region of 30 to 40,000 fans. And the youth teams and the women's team are going to play there. So it is
They definitely
still
say that. True.
technically the original Old Trafford Stadium is going to is going to remain. It's just not going to be at capacity, which is 72,000 right now. It will be at somewhere in the region of 25 to 40. So I think it's not a bad idea. I think it encouraged fans to come and watch the youth team more. It encouraged fans to come and watch the women's team even more, and it also kind of opens up a space that we could do things, because this new stadium is going to be state of the art, guys. It's probably going to have similar facilities to that of Real Madrid Stadium at the Bernabeu. So guys, while we celebrating this FA Cup, while we celebrating for the next 2 weeks, there's going to be a lot of movement behind the scenes, not just with players, but a lot of decisions being made about rebuilding the stadium,
Building
rebuilding
the
Carrington, which Yali has informed us is being rebuilt at the moment. And it's just you need to just sit down and understand that we are a work in progress. And when we have done all this work, we should be starting to see rewards from our efforts. And that's how it works. You know what I mean? Much love and respect to all of you. Big up to you, Sir Chiv.
big up,
Big
man.
up to you guys, Man
I have
Lutata.
to. Yeah, I have to get
I know
myself
you have to
going.
go just
Yes.
now, my bro. So,
Yeah,
I just wanted to let you guys all know it was a great victory. It was a great season to
great
spend this
victory.
time chatting with all of you, hanging out with you guys every morning and
100%, man.
sometimes during the afternoons and on weekends. It was really enjoyable to make the acquaintance of all of you, Yali, Madhouse, Manu Tata, DJ
Manu
Superfly,
Tata, big up
Craig,
to you, man.
big up to you, Danny B, you know what I mean, Stephanie Griffith, all of you guys, doing these streams, Box, all of you, I can't do it without you guys. And Sachiv, making friends with you guys has been amazing, and I would like to continue that as the season
Absolutely,
progresses throughout the
absolutely.
summer. We're gonna still be covering some more streams and stuff, guys. Definitely it has the Copa America coming up this summer.
Oh
South
yeah, Copa
American
America.
football as usually where I'm at watching stuff, and there's also going to be the Euros. And there's going to be some Gold Cup games for the CONCACAF region. So, I'll be
Oh,
covering these
Concaf is.
games.
Yeah, you'll
I'll
be
be
there.
covering all of these games. For me, I'm going to be doing two of the Euro games. Really and truly, I will do the England opening game, but I'm following
Yeah.
Italy and Germany for the World Cup. So I'll be covering all of Italy's and Germany's games, but I will do the opening game for England. You know, in Copa, I will be following Brazil. And I will cover the Argentina games as well. So guys, if you guys are fans or you want to watch a certain game, let me know.
Oh
Maybe
yeah,
I'll try to cover that game as well. And of course, in CONCACAF, I support Trinidad and Tobago, so I'll be covering those games as well. You know, big up to all of you joining me. If you guys have the time, yeah, be here for the Euro streams, man.
yeah, definitely. We have to
Big
be
up
there
to
for the
you, Craig.
Euros.
You know,
Yeah,
oh
yeah,
my
yeah.
bad man, Utata. Let me just go through your comments real quick.
Yeah, go for it.
City played badly more than United played good.
Yeah,
I 100% disagree with that
I agree with
statement.
that.
I think most of the reason that City played badly was because they were forced to, kind of like Arsenal when Arsenal played against us. A lot of people say Arsenal didn't have to come out of first gear. I would say, in contrary, they were not allowed to come out of first gear. So that one, I will answer that. Of course, Pep did not tinker with his lineup. He started his best lineup. He's been starting this lineup for his biggest games this season. So maybe go back and check the game that they played against Real Madrid. You would see that it was the same starting 11. So therefore, he wasn't tinkering. He was starting his strongest 11 as he thought. Well, if the first goal was lucky,
I don't think it was.
the four chances we had before that first goal was scored, the goal was bound to score, bro. They had a mistake in the first 5 minutes where we should have scored, but then it bounced off our defender. Had
Should
a
have scored it.
mistake where,
Yeah, we
I
should have
think,
scored that.
the ball flopped up and the keeper just managed to grab it. Yeah, so it was bound to happen, bro. So this is what happens when you're under pressure and a team is forcing you to play a way that it's hard for you to play.
Exactly.
ETH lineup it had logic. It might not have logic for you, bro. But if you go back to my stream yesterday morning, you would see I picked the same 4-4-2. I started
It
Marcus
was
Rashford
actually
up
going to be
top.
4-2. Yeah, it was
I
actually.
started Rashford up top yesterday. The only thing I did not do was kept Garnacho and kept McTominay in the lineup. I swapped McTominay out for Casemiro, and I swapped Ahmad for Garnacho as the starter. So technically, I saw that lineup coming. I saw the formation coming because this is the same formation we used when we played against City the first time, and it was working for 60 minutes. So I thought he might have stuck with the formation and maybe tinkered with one or two players. And you know what? The guys
It
performed
worked.
well,
It
and
worked,
it
yeah.
worked. You know what I mean?
Mm.
I think Casemiro, one or two things. I think Casemiro is a little bit unhappy with the treatment he has received in England, not mostly from the manager or Man United, but
I
from
don't
the
think so. Yeah.
referees and the media. And I also think that it has been decided a while now, since the injuries that he received and since he had to go to Barcelona to get medical assistance, that he would be leaving the club. So I think maybe Casemiro and Varane were already decided that they are leaving for different reasons. And maybe that's why he was not in the lineup yesterday. But also it could have been because he was injured, because he was carrying a knock for the last few games. So it was disappointing not to see him even on the bench.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that's true, man. Like, yeah, I think for me personally, I think Casemiro. I was, like at first when we signed Casemiro, I was really excited, but like after when like Casemiro started to play as a lone six, it's like, yeah, he wasn't able to,
Drex,
his legs were
Drex,
gone.
Drex, don't tell me in the comments there and you're going to come in and for 2 minutes and help me close this show, bro, because we cannot possibly be ending the season without at least 5 minutes of us being on a stream together, bro. This can't be right. So I know if you're in the comments still, Drexy, but get yourself on screen, bro, because bro, we didn't even cover the watch along yesterday. We didn't even cover our match reaction yet. You know, half of the reason the stream so long is because I'm waiting for you to wake up, buddy. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
So if you
Lord.
could jump in for 2 seconds and say something, bro, get in
Hmm.
here. You know what I'm saying? Get in here. The link is pinned. Just click it real quick. Have your
Um,
serious, have your, big
Mark,
up for the win, however, so we can close the stream.
Mark, I have to get going. Mark, I have to get going. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see
Big
you
up
tomorrow
Sachiv.
in your
Bro, we
UK time.
have some streams to do this summer. We'll be seeing you soon.
I'll be
Hope you
there.
have a
I'll be
good
there.
day down under, my brother. It's a good
Yeah,
weekend. You know, we win again. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. I'll take you,
Another
man.
trophy in the bag. Big up, broski. Drex, what going on, bro? You coming and help me close the stream or not? What going on? Look at me. Lucky reach, fellas. What going on, bro?
What you saying, bro?
I ain't seen you at all. I say like, you forget we had to do a match reaction. We win the FA
Bro,
Cup. We have a
bro,
reaction to do. I ain't hear from you. You know, I
bro,
see you do a watch along. I say you was going stream it to my channel. I say must he forget. I know watch along stream to my channel yesterday.
oh,
I was like,
bro. I didn't honestly. I was watching the game bit by bit. I had two ladies that were going to take an exam, so I had needed to tutor them on some things, right? So I was just peeping through here and there, like I was going through everybody. Even I went through your channel yesterday, when you had when you're on KG's thing with the K with KG. So, yeah, I was on your channel when for that KG after whatever it was that you guys were doing,
mm,
right? There was from your channel. I was looking at it yesterday, but I was all over the place. My daughter
bro,
needed to do a piercing and for her earrings yesterday. I needed to take her there, so it was a lot. In all of it, I was just smiling. My wife was like, "Why you? What's this? What's this excitement?" I was like, "You've been having it in my face all for like a long while that City are dominating, but guess what? We won City and we won." She was like, "Yo, I saw it everywhere." I'm like, "Oh, you saw it everywhere? Good, good, good." It was. I haven't really had the time to rewatch the game, right? To actually take it.
react.
You take there's some meals where you want to eat, right? And you've
Mm-hmm.
been craving this meal for a very long time, right? You take your time, you take your time to like taste Mark, you know what I'm talking about. You as a chef, so you know
Bro.
what I'm talking about. So you take your time to like you prepare
Yeah, bro.
yourself, you get your drinks, you take every bite you savor every bite. That's what I want to do with the fun. I
Bro.
already have it loaded up. It's just after church
Yesterday.
service today, I'm just gonna binge on it, bro, man. Like, whoa,
Now, when
bro.
you finish, we go react. We go do a stream tonight. Let me know what time
Yeah,
you're
yo,
available
we
tonight.
go do no we having the week that was on D Hub Sport later tonight. So
You'll
yeah,
there,
I'll
there.
send.
You just stream it to my channel and I'll
Yeah, yeah,
pop
yeah,
in.
yeah, yeah,
Stream
yeah,
it to
yeah.
my
So
channel one time
yeah, yeah,
because yeah, what going on, right?
yeah,
We had to sit down and talk about this game, bro. When you watch the
bro,
game, you
man,
know what I
bro,
mean?
like,
Because in my
bro,
honest
like,
opinion, and I'm gonna say
you
this,
know,
guys.
when you messaged me yesterday, I'm like, Dress, we need to score one more goal. I didn't really see the message, but I felt like something was telling me we scored, right? Because I was not really watching it. Something just told me, Drex, United scored. Something just told me like United has scored, right? I quickly went on the channel DL Sport and I saw my brother was excited. I'm like, I went to my phone and I saw Mark saying, Drex, we need to score one more goal. I'm like, yo, United, is it that United are playing So
Man,
I went on a stream, like I went on one of my app to watch the game. So I saw like, yo, City had the possession. How did United score, right? Then right there, while I was thinking about it, they just showed the replay. I was like, okay, we've been because I was watching the game glimpse by glimpse. I saw where we,
clinical.
yeah,
Like where we
we
was
were clinic,
yesterday.
bro. We were
Man
clinical, and
them, man them come out and sharpen the knives yesterday.
bro,
And there's like
man, bro, man, like
we chopping through the
you could see the pressing, like the pressing. Like there was a time we pressed them, right? We almost nicked the goal. They had in all games, right? They had 4 shots on target. We had 5. Like
100%.
this was the first time I saw United actually have like in the Tenag era where we actually outwit these guys in terms of on target. We restricted them like the way we restricted them to the outside shot and all of that, right? I know what's his name, Haaland made it hit the crossbar, but when I looked at that ball he hit, I'm like, okay, that it wasn't like the inside of the crossbar, it was more like the outside. Either ways, the luck was on our side. Let me not be too sound too cocky. Luck
We
was on
had
our
some
side.
luck. We had some
Yeah,
luck.
we
But
had
of
some luck
course, you need
yesterday.
that, you know?
Even
And
the goal we conceded, I felt like I didn't want to even talk about it, but I felt like Onana should have actually he went with 2 hands when I feel like he should have just gone with his right hand. That would have been strong enough to even going with your 2 hands, right? It's more like because when you land, right, it more like takes the pressure off. But when you're going with your one hand, okay, you could sustain that hand in the air, so you could actually use it to put forward. But when you're going with 2 hands and your both hands hit the floor like that, by default, it's human settings. By default, you would lose strength. You would lose strength. So
100%.
for me, all in all, I'm not going to even blame. I'm not putting anything. All in all, we were compact yesterday. Amrabat
We were
was top.
good. We were good.
We're going to talk about it. But Amrabat was top notch. This was what I've been saying all season, right? And I'm so happy it was the last game of the season. They actually listened to Drex. I've been saying it ever since. And a lot of people have been saying. I'm like saying we need to be clinical. I don't care, right? Even if you have all the ball possession and you have 190 shots towards United's target, right?
Mm.
As long as you don't score, I'm okay. But let me just have just one shot on target and let that shot on target be in the back of the net, right? I don't care about all of those XG and what's not, bro. I don't. X XG means okay. XG means that your team is actually creating chances. I understand, but for me, games like this, bro, man, you have your dinner, bro. Finish it, bro. Finish it, bro.
Right.
Finish it, bro.
100%. Guys, I had to have Drex here for the last video talking about this. Had to close with Drexy, but we go and let Ten Hag close. And I'll just go and leave this here, the manager's post-match press conference for everyone to see. And this is how we're going to close the show today, because you know what? The manager, the team, the guys did their job yesterday. And for that, we have to give them their flowers. Let's hear what the manager has to say as we close this stream. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. Big up to all of you. And let's hear what has to go on here.
Congratulations. It's been a difficult season, but that must be quite sweet ending for you.
Absolutely. So that's always the best, to end on a high, and you have the whole summer and to enjoy it. Sorry.
You say you've got the whole summer to enjoy. You be aware of the build-up to this game. There's been a lot of kind of conflicting reports about what your conversations have been with the owners. Do you still expect to be Manchester United manager after the summer?
I don't think about this. I'm in a project, and we are exactly where we want to be. We're constructing a team. And when I took over, it was a mess at United. And we are on our way to construct a team for the future. And it will go with ups and downs. And what you see is the team is developing, the team is winning. In the end of the day, it's about winning trophies. And the team also plays to an identity. But you need the players to be available, and you need a strong squad in top football, and especially when you play in England. Europe, Premier League, so competitive, so you need a very good squad, and you need players available in that squad. And there is still a lot of work to do, but we are exactly where we are, and we have a value in the squad, and we have high potentials, progressing very good, the team is progressing, and we're winning trophies. 2 trophies in 2 years, it's not bad, 3 finals, it's not bad, but we have to keep going. I'm not satisfied with it, we have to do better, and if they don't want me anymore, then I go anywhere else to win trophies, because that is what I did my whole career.
I think in an interview you did in Holland, you said that you'd been told by INEOS that they want to build United around you. Can you confirm that that is actually what you said, that you've been told by INEOS that they do want you to be manager?
That is what they always tell me.
By all ways, sorry to be specific, so this week you said that you'd already spoken to them before the end of the season, you didn't even do a review. So when did they say that? Was that this week, or was this a long time ago?
But how many times do I have to tell you this? Every time it's the same question.
I just mean in terms of when they told you.
But every time it's the same question. And do I have to repeat myself 10 times, 15 times, 20 times?
No, just a day. Just
no.
Was it this week? Was it?
Yeah, but they don't have to tell me every week. If they tell me so often. And I never, and I was in some clubs before, and they every day they come to tell you, you are the best, and we want to build with you. And when they tell it, and when they don't want anymore, then I will hear it. But they told me many times.
After such a terrific win, how harsh would it be if you did lose your job, having just beaten Manchester City?
Not. So when I started here, I said, I'm here to win. And also I want to build a team. Hope I do it, but if they don't want me anymore, what I said, I go anywhere else. And then I keep